Mr. Morton, your reports.
I have one report. I'm going to read a statement I prepared tonight. And Jonathan, this issue and what is happening, I think, is out of hand, and I think it's destroying our community, and I think it's detrimental. In 1710, Jonathan Swift famously said, "Falsehood flies quick, and the truth comes limping along long after, usually too late." I'm not a lawyer, but I'm aware that the only defense to a potential defamation claim is the truth, and tonight I'm going to speak some truth. What an absolute privilege it's been to be here for 10 months. 10 months ago, I stood right there, and I expressed my hopes, my enthusiasm, my commitment to be the Palm Bay City Manager. I was asked some hard questions, and I promised to deliver transparency, which you heard tonight and you've heard repeatedly I've done and I'm doing. And I'm going to quote myself, "I will not be bullied by anyone, and that my integrity is worth more than my job." I believe that even more deeply now than when I said it 10 months ago. The gravity of this role is not lost on me. It's not about me. It's never going to be about me. It's about this community and the work that this community expects me to do. And when they don't expect me to do it any longer, as someone said tonight, they vote me out. You've often heard me say and say to our incredible staff many times that leadership level 99 at a remedial level is disappointing your followers at a rate they can absorb. That's how we balance a lot of our days. On the other end of that continuum is leadership level 500, essentially being willing to have the personal courage to step off the page of the job description, to be willing to put yourself in front of others, to be a bulwark for them, to walk squarely outside of the arena of personal safety, and to disregard any notion of trying to insulate, shield, or protect oneself, and to do that, most importantly, for the right reasons and the right people. I know I'm putting myself in that line tonight. I'm okay with that. And I'm not saying this or doing this to impress anyone. If you guys are looking to be impressed by someone, be impressed with Chief Mario Agello, who has demonstrated this type of consistent leadership under withering attack for almost 2 years. I want to apologize to the dedicated men and women in the Palm Bay Police Department. We have asked you time and again to be the wall between us and evil, the horror and the terrible in this world, so we can go about our lives, and you have answered that call. At one time, Deputy Chief Lance Fisher answered that call. Despite weathering a withering attack from a former deputy chief, they have continued to operate with pride, professionalism, commitment, integrity, and have been held accountable when they've erred. And there have been errors, just like in every organization and in every department across this state and across this country. The records clearly reflect that. This is not a minimization. I reiterate that we believe in the highest ethical standards, and those who do not agree are disciplined, or if severe enough, they're terminated. It's not random, it's thoughtful, it's deliberate, it's intentional, it's for the greater good. I was approached by Mr. Fisher even before I was formally employed by contract to the City of Palm Bay. He was so eager to tell me his story that he called and emailed me over and over. My request, which is memorialized in writing, was to please wait until I officially was in office to respect the integrity of the public process, to respect the public record, and not to use my personal email that he got off my resume moving forward. Several people did that, in fairness. The attempts to contact me, however, didn't stop. Change is not easy. Change is not in the minutia. We've brought many changes together. We're going to bring many more. But change has to accomplish the greater good. Otherwise, what are we doing? Change is not driven by the loudest voice, shouldn't be driven by the squeakiest wheel. There must be a careful, deliberate consideration of the many questions, chief among them, and borrowing from the famous Pareto efficiency criterion, a well-established value-neutral tool. Are more people better off, or are more people worse if we make a change? Or in the case of the police department, is the public more safe, or are they less safe as a whole as a result of change, or as whole of the actions we take? We are emphatically more safe today. Murder, non-negligent manslaughter is down 13.33%. Rapes are down 28.33%. Robberies are down 36.58%. Aggravated assaults are down 22.88%. Burglaries are down 15.41%. Thefts down 5.32%. Motor vehicle thefts down 15.08%, and more. When Mr. Fisher and I finally met, I took the information he provided. I worked through it. I conducted due diligence, as did 2 past city managers, and I disclosed in a previous public meeting, and on the record, it kept coming up empty. And through it all, the police department achieved certifications, received accolades, and then completed the arduous and prestigious accreditation process. I've had multiple conversations with police department employees with the full knowledge and blessing of the chief and deputy chief, who are and remained confident that the record would reflect, and the conversations I chose to have would tell the full story because there was nothing to hide and nothing being hidden. I mentioned that change should not come from the loudest voice nor the squeakiest wheel. More so, unequivocally so, change must never, I repeat, never be driven by those who threaten, extort, or manipulate for their own gain. This is the epitome of corruption, and it is the heart of rot, and the city has been there before. This week that I learned the same former deputy chief, who in my opinion used the tragic death of our police chief's grandson, is now, and recent public records requests seem to verify, an attempt to disparage our current deputy chief, to try to damage him and his young family by spreading vicious rumors that are both vile and disgusting, trying to cast aspersions of affairs. The deeper I've dug, the more people I talk to, it keeps coming back to one person, the same former deputy chief who told me to my face, and several others, in fact, at least 2 others have come forward with this same exact message. This will all go away, the YouTube channel will shut down, if a certain 1 or 2, now about 5 or 6 police employees are terminated, and a payment of $450,000 was made in the guise of a settlement they believed they were owed. That's it. And those 2 people who relayed that message were here in this room tonight. I ask myself, if this is not corruption, what is? So as I attempt to move this city forward, we keep getting pulled back into the past, and for all the wrong reasons, as we just saw unfold 20 minutes ago. You shouldn't be even tearing this council apart, let alone the community. You guys work too hard and have too much integrity to move this city forward. So I'm taking counsel as to what to do next. I'm contemplating filing a criminal complaint for the attempted extortion of a public official, my opinion, what is the attempted extortion of a public official, and have those 2 individuals subpoenaed to corroborate this true account. Would it serve the greater good? Or would it just serve to continually destroy, distract, and disparage our city? Something's changed in our community. Several, more than a few but less than 10, several current and former police officers have asked me to place them on the public record. They'd like to be deposed. They would like to come forward and testify about the actions, abuses they claim to have suffered under a former deputy chief. At this point, that serves no purpose. No longer an employee, not much to do. They are free to pursue whatever course of action if they think a crime was committed. That was not expressed to me. Again, how does that contribute to the greater good? Opening that door, I don't believe does. Mr. Fisher worked here for 20 years. I also estimate the ongoing PRRs have cost the community between $75,000 and $100,000 in lost productivity, lost morale, intense fear. I want to ask, even though it's legally absolutely none of my business, so it's a rhetorical question, truly, for what purpose? And while I actively take legal counsel, which I have begun this week, I am wanting to take the next course of action that ultimately serves not me, not you, the residents of the city of Palm Bay, the greater good, the majority of the residents in Palm Bay who expect us to get up every day and fix things and do our job. And I don't want to continue to be distracted from that important, serious, and timely work. Yes, we should be criticized. We should be challenged. You should be looking into things. Citizens should absolutely encourage it. I welcome it. I have met with dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of people, not just to hear the good, but to hear the bad. And I've taken every conversation seriously. But it remains my goal to move this city forward in partnership with the community, again, to achieve the greater good and improve the quality of life for this community. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. We're now
Point of order.
on,
Sir, my name was mentioned.
Sir, we're now on legal reports.
Nothing further, Mayor.
Okay, this meeting's adjourned.